Welcome back. You're watching the Late Night News. Now, with the Right to Education Act coming into force from Thursday, India joined the league of the select few countries in the world where education is a fundamental right. But here in Tamil Nadu, while the infrastructure is great, educational activists feel that the state government lacks the political will to implement this historic bill.
Get all stakeholders on board. You know, the message must be to the nation, this is not about you and me, it's about our future. Not just the future of our children, the future of India.
Only if this passion was shared by all the stakeholders in the implementation of the Act. It's a historic bill, but educationists feel that the Tamil Nadu government is not willing enough to implement this bill. According to the bill, 45% of the funds for RTE have to be borne by the state, but the 10,000 crore education allocation in this year's budget has ignored RTE.
The government knew very well that the Right to Education Act is going to be implemented from this academic year, from the coming academic year. The 86th Amendment was brought in 2002, and the Act to implement the 86th Amendment, that is 21A, was brought in 2009. There was ample opportunity for the government to allocate funds in the budget. But the government has not allocated any fund, any special fund for the implementation of right to education. When there are different syllabus, unifying the 4 syllabus is good. It is a step towards equitable standard education or common school system. But just introducing a common syllabus or the textbook itself will not provide equitable standard education.
As expected, the School Education Minister Tangam Tennarisi refused to speak on camera about the issue. Although educationists say the 25% reservation for the disadvantaged sections will not prove to be a problem if the income from the other 75% is utilized properly, what will prove to be a problem is finding qualified teachers.
The main issue is going to be where are we going to find the qualified teachers? The Act says that if they're going to be unqualified teachers, they should not continue in service. So the right thing to be done is start more of B.Ed colleges. Encourage individuals to take up teaching profession by giving them good salaries. The government should ensure that at least are given good salaries. Well, if we attract youngsters in this particular teaching profession.
But commercial involvement of politicians in the education system and the lack of political will perhaps stand as the biggest barriers for free education for all. With camera person Srinivas and Arun, Ramanathan for Ndtv-Hindu.
Now, 371 young men were inducted into the Indian Air Force today at an impressive passing out parade. It weren't just Indian pilots, but also pilots from across the world who trained to add value to their flying skills by learning with the Indian Air Force.
Let me familiarize you with the parade.
Decked in blue, thumping their boots in harmony, and with their heads held high in honor, these young trainees marched their final steps into the ranks of the Indian Air Force. For young Manikandan, it is a day that will be etched in his heart for the rest of his life. Unlike other professional jobs, Manikandan has chosen this tough path to serve the country and urge the youth to follow suit.
They are going only one path they are taking. They are not saying there are many jobs in India. They are telling there is unemployment. A lot of people have said they don't see the defense and other else. They are not want to serve the country. I would request all the youngsters to join in Indian Air Force or anything defense force and serve the nation.
For these air warriors, it is a start of a new chapter. The trainees left the audience spellbound with their power-packed performance, displaying their talents and skills. And awarding trophies to the meritorious men, the Air Commodore said that the career prospects in the Indian Air Force has now taken a positive curve.
This is a great way of living. You are in uniform, you are in one of the well-recognized air forces in the world. We are the 4th largest air force in the world, and we have proved ourselves amply to the rest of the world that yes, we mean what we say.
And with 6 international trainees coming all the way to India to get their basics right, Indian Air Force has proved yet again that they are on par with international forces.
The experience has been really so good. I've really enjoyed my stay here. The training is so nice, the instructors are good, and even the outside population has been so welcome to us. We are so grateful.
So if you really think you have the spirit and the courage to be a brave warrior, all you need to do is to log on to www.careerairforce.nic.in and apply to join the Indian Air Force. With camera person Kasi, Bertila, Ndtv-Hindu.
Now, following the tremendous response from the public in the southern leg of the Red Ribbon Express, the Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society is now shifting focus to the rural areas. Ndtv-Hindu's Lokpriya reports.
Painting the town red, this social express has done well to achieve its objectives. Touring over 15 days, the express had a truckload of information about HIV/AIDS.
Prevalence of HIV/AIDS thought to be an urban phenomena and a lifestyle disease. But as we have advancing with our medical and the awareness campaign, more and more cases have been noticed in the rural areas.
Differing from their northern counterparts, the southern edition focuses on going native. The Tamil Nadu AIDS Control Society, which oversees the project, has expanded their target group to include women's group, out-of-school youngsters and members of village health and sanitation committees.
Prevalence of HIV in the rural areas has been addressed by the TANSACS and its partners through the penetration of our facilities, including the ICTC centers, and opening up more and more ART and link ART centers.
A new media campaign is on to spread awareness about Nambikai Mayam, or counseling and testing centers for HIV in the state. AIDS is no longer considered just an urban disease, as rural India comes to terms with it.
After Pulli Raja, it is now the Dillu Dura who will guide the doubting Thomases. With stalled promises from the Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society, the place of action is the rural districts. With camera person Madan, this is V. Lokpriya reporting for Ndtv-Hindu.
And who is the greatest cricketer, Sir Don Bradman or Sachin Tendulkar? Well, that question can stump anyone. Former Australian captain Steve Waugh has his take. Sachin, a great player, but Sir Don Bradman, simply the best.
So let's start with the obvious question. You're here. I don't see any of the IPL uniforms on you. Most people keep asking me, why aren't you coaching? My only question is, why aren't you playing? You should be there playing. You would be pretty much, I think, one of the best out there.
Well, thanks for your positive feedback, but I'm probably a little bit too old. I mean,
no, that's exactly what I don't agree on. I mean,
yeah.
No way. I mean, have you not been approached?
No, not to play. I mean, I think Mr. Modi made it pretty clear when IPL started that he didn't want retired players in there. He had a couple of Australians there, Shane Warne and Glenn McGrath and Adam Gilchrist, but no, never approached. Would have loved to have had a game, but...
So, do you continue to still think Donald Bradman is the #1 batsman of all time and not Sachin anymore? He has done well in the last 2 or 3 years since that whole statement came out. Any changes in that?
Look, I get a lot of questions. I get asked a lot of times, so I'm going to throw it back to you. What's your answer, firstly?
Okay, can I just go nationalistic and say that Sachin almost catches up with Donald Bradman, but
so you're saying Donald Bradman's better?
I'm saying that in the last few months or so, he seems to be catching up and is almost there.
Well, he's got to average 40 more per innings for the rest to get back there.
So I think I have the answer, right?
Well, the answer is, I mean, it's. I think, you know, if we're realistic about it, Sachin's a great player, one of the best of all time, but Sir Donald Bradman is clearly the best batsman that's ever walked the planet.
And coming up on the other side of this short break, it's woman power all the way from Chennai to the Youth Olympics. And not just your socks, pull your pants up too, says New York Senator.